Everybody wants to be, but nobody wants to do. Girl, it's time to be real, raw, and relentless. Everybody wants to be, but nobody wants to do. You know it's time.
Recrown you.
It's your girl, Truly Inspired Martin, the Millennial Reset Coach, and I'm so excited about this deal I got for you. If you head on over to www.trulyinspiredlifestyle.com and use the code RESPECTME, you will get 10% off your entire order. And guess what? We just dropped a new shirt because we are getting ready for the third quarter. And this month we are getting our money right. That's right. We're talking all things getting to the bag. So why not rep the shirt to rep the mindset? Too dope to be broke just dropped on trulyinspiredlifestyle.com. Don't miss out on this. Y'all ready? Let's get it. What's up, guys? It's your girl, Truly Inspired Martin, and welcome to another episode of the Recrown You podcast, baby. That's right, ladies. We're here for the women who are ready to be real, raw, and relentless in their pursuit to unleash their inner badass. So what does that mean for you? That means that you're a woman that is about to take a journey that you don't know where it leads. That means that you're about to use all that faith that you got and let it take you to a place where you are ready to take action. That means that you are a woman that says, you know what, there's a lot of things that I've dealt with in my life that I never actually faced head on. That's what we're here to do. We're here to do the work. And I'm talking about all areas of your life, not just the little cute stuff that we put on Instagram, but the stuff that are deeply embedded inside of you. So, last month was Mental Health Awareness Month. So I thought that it would be very, very important as we're about to make this transition into the third quarter. Y'all know I do my whole life in quarters, right? And July 1st starts the third quarter. So we got to get right all June. So in June, we're talking about all things money, honey. Okay, we got to get these dollars right, because if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Okay, so this month I'm bringing all that to you. And when I say all that, I'm talking about all that, meaning the experts. I never claim to be an expert on money. Y'all do not want to see the way I spend, okay? But I want you to know that I'm bringing to you the experts on this topic, because if they know how to do it, they're willing to share some tools, some resources, some strategies, and ways to connect with them to make it happen for you. Because I'm about to give y'all some statistics, and I think y'all going to really understand why this is so important to me. So I saw this article, right? And it said that the median wealth of Black Americans will fall to zero, you heard me, zero, by the year 2053. Listen, not only is that alarming as all hell, that is scary, right? Because also with the U.S. set to become majority minority by 2044, they already said that, the way our money is looking real funny. And at this point, just about 3 years from now, white households are projected to own 86 times more wealth than Black households and 68 times more wealth than Latino households. And y'all know I love my Caucasian folks. I got many friends, but I'm just focusing on us right now because this is the issue. We're not spending right. We're not investing in ourselves. We all out here popping for the gram saying that we got businesses and we doing real well, right? Me included. Let's not get it twisted, right? And my money ain't all the way right. So this is a learning lesson for us all. So I hope that you guys are ready to indulge in some of this amazing information. So here's some stats for you real quick. All right, millennials. 56% of millennials don't have any money saved in a retirement account. The numbers were only a little less bleak for older generations, right? Ooh. Like, we don't have any money saved. And this is going to be an issue going forward when we're talking about 2053, right? 20% of Americans don't save any of their annual income at all. And even those who do save aren't putting away a lot. Man, these statistics can go on for days. 2/3 of Americans would struggle to scrounge up $1,000 in an emergency. All right. So we're looking at all these different angles of how we're viewing money. And here's the last one for you. Only 24% of millennials demonstrate basic financial literacy. Like, I'm just looking at this stuff and I'm like, we are lost. We don't have it together. We're not investing in ourselves. We're not making wealth for ourselves. We're not believing enough that we can attain wealth, and we're just spending it at the club. We're spending it on them Jordans. We're spending it on whatever, Amazon, something that we saw that was cute. We're just spending it in the wrong ways. And when it comes down to the nitty gritty, when we have kids and our children's children, what does your legacy look like? And that's what we are getting into today. So today I have the pleasure of bringing to you Marquel Russell. Let me tell you about Marquel real quick, all right? So Marquel is a client success story junkie and the secret weapon for entrepreneurs who want to create automated systems that attract an endless flood of clients that come to you on a daily basis, ready to pay you top dollar. I know some people are clutching their pearls right now. They're like, what? How? Right? He's known for delivering the highest returns on investments to his clients, upward of $1,110.76%. Okay? I'm going to just let that alone. It has a list of success stories that's as long as the line at a Jay-Z and Beyonce concert, which have collectively equaled millions of dollars in new revenue. His goal is $100 million in revenue for his clients over the next 5 years. When he isn't traveling the world with his family, watching cartoons with his 2 youngest kids, playing video games with his older kids, or empowering inner city at-risk youth, Marquel now spends his working time helping his clients apply his time-tested and proven methods designed to help them rapidly grow their income and build businesses that give them true time and financial freedom while making the world a better place. Today's episode is titled Get Big Ticket Clients, How to Attract That Happily Paying Clients. Hold on now. Happily paying clients, okay? That will pay you $3,000 to $10,000 for your knowledge-based programs and services, even if ain't nobody heard of you. I know this is a little hard for some people to conceptualize right now, but don't believe me. I'm going to bring the man to the stage. Marquel, you with me?
I am. How you doing, Dana?
I am amazing. How are you?
I'm amazing. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the introduction. I'm fired up. I'm excited to share, and I appreciate you for having me on the show. Once again, you're doing some big things.
Thank you. You lit, man. I'm over here just with a notebook and pen. I'm ready. So let's get into it, right? So, Marquel, people are listening in disbelief, right? I just read all of this stuff about you. They like, shoo, I wish somebody would pay me $200, right? Like they just can't conceptualize what you're saying, right? So, and they're listening in disbelief, like, how, Sway, right? Like, firstly, what qualifies you? Let's start there.
So what qualifies me? I guess the biggest thing that qualifies me is that I do. So a lot of times people just teach. I actually spend more time doing than teaching. So everything that we teach is based solely on actual data and actual, like, in the trenches doing the work. Not just something I've read or a course I went to or an event I went to, but it's literally something that we've actually tested, we've implemented, we've gotten results, we've shared it with other people, they've gotten results, and now we're just sharing it. So I think that's the biggest thing is, like, Jay-Z has a quote where he says, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't, right? So the numbers talk for themselves.
I love that, right? Because there's a lot of people that's out here coaching and preaching, but they're not really getting any results. Like, I literally believe a couple years ago, I met somebody and found out some information about them that they were out here trying to teach people how to make 6 figures, but still ain't attained that for themselves yet, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's a big deal when you are a doer of your own words. So I love the qualification right there. So
Absolutely.
all right, let's talk about some things, right? So what kind of system does it take to make this happen? Like, walk me through this.
To attract these big ticket clients, right?
Yep.
So basically, it's real simple. So we basically call this ultimate online marketing machine. So I'm gonna take a step back. We have a methodology that we teach our clients and actually implement for some other clients, because we have some clients we actually teach how to do this stuff in our coaching programs, and then from a done for you agency side, we actually implement it for them. But essentially, we have this methodology. It's called the SFM method. So that's SFM. So anybody listening, taking notes, SFM. And basically, the SFM method is the S stands for specialize. So the first thing you got to do is figure out, okay, what is the thing that I specialize in? What is the thing that you're the best in the world at? And give yourself permission to like own that you're the best in the world at that. So maybe you're the best in the world at, if you're a trainer, instead of you just being a trainer, right? Maybe you're the best in the world at helping people lose weight, or maybe you're the best in the world at helping people build muscle, or helping people. And then some people may say, well, how can I say I'm the best in the world? I don't know everybody in the world. Well, you're the best in your world, right? So you figure that out. So for me, well, what we do, we're the best in the world at client attraction, right? Nobody's better at us when it comes to that. So it's like, okay, you pick the thing you specialize in. Too many entrepreneurs are generalists, right? They're good at a little bit of everything. But out of all these things you're good at, you got to figure out, okay, what is the one thing? And we call it claiming your mountain. Like, what's the mountain that you're going to claim, and like stake your flag in there? So, okay, this is the thing that I'm going all in. Because the reason you want to specialize is because people who specialize get paid more than generalists. And I'll give you an example just to make this real. So a general physician makes about $120,000 per year. And you can go Google this. So they make about $120,000 per year. General physician, they're going door to door not door to door, they're seeing a ton of clients every single day. And then you have a brain surgeon, makes about $500,000 a year. He pulls up after everybody who's prepped his patient for the day. He pulls up in his Ferrari, comes in, washes his hands, and does his hour, 2 hours, or whatever the case may be, jumps back in his Ferrari and heads on home. Why does he get paid 5 times more than the general physician? Because he specializes. So the number one thing is you have to specialize, because if you don't specialize in something, you look like a generalist, and nobody wants to do business with a generalist. So that's the step. That's the first step. Any questions about that, or just keep going?
Oh, no, that's good right there. That is a real good analogy, because I think that is absolutely true. We are so general. Like, there's a blanket, like everybody's a motivational speaker, right? But what do you speak about directly? What is that thing that everybody would book you to come speak about? And I think that even that analogy within itself is amazing. Yes, keep going. Woo.
Perfect. So that's the S, is specialize. The F as in Frank, is what we call funnelize. So basically, when you funnelize somebody, you're taking complete strangers who don't know who you are to becoming happy, high-paying clients. And we typically say in 72 hours or less. So, for example, with a funnel, if you're taking notes, like draw a funnel on your paper or just visualize a funnel. So it's 4 different layers of it. So when people first become aware of you for the first time, that's the first layer. So like if you're hearing this podcast and time hearing me, you've become aware of me. Or if you're just hearing Dana for the first time, you're just becoming aware of us. Now, some of the people listening are going to be interested. Some people, it's going to be your last time, listening to it. Some people are going to say, okay, I love this. Let me go find out what else she has. Let me go check out some more episodes, right? And so they're going to be interested. And then some people are already jumped off, right? So they already were aware, but they weren't really interested. They didn't like my slang or whatever the case may be. But it was like, I'm just not interested. I'm going to check out another one. So you have that second layer, which is interest. And then the third level is engagement. So, for example, you're interested, and at the end, I say, all right, hey, if you want this free thing, go over to XYZ, MarquelRussell.com, and go get this free thing on my free training on how to turn complete strangers into happy, high-paying clients in 72 hours or less. Some people are actually going to go over and get access to this free gift. And that means they engaged. Right. And then out of those people who actually engage, some of those people are actually going to become clients. Right. So that's kind of how that process. Now, obviously, at the bottom of that funnel, the people that come out the bottom of that funnel as clients is going to be a lot smaller than the people who come at the top from an awareness level. So those are the 4 different phases. So how do you take people through that phase? Number 1, you lead with some form of value. So for example, it may be this podcast episode. It may be, I do a lot of videos on IGTV. I do a podcast also, and I do speaking. I do just different things. So I do a lot of content. So that's when people may become engaged, or they may see an ad. That's when they become aware. Right. And then from there, I give a call to action to go do a specific thing. So if they're interested and I give them a call to action to go opt in or get this free thing or whatever, then they're going to be interested and they're going to engage by opting in or something like that. And then from there, we give you an opportunity to schedule a call to work with our team or however we can help you with your marketing. We give you the next step to move forward. So that's kind of how we funnelize. We take a big audience, we get in front of an audience, and then we take a fraction of that audience who actually wants to go to the next step. And then some are going to go to the next step. And then some are going to go to the ultimate step and become clients. And then some even become like lifelong clients. So that's the funnelized process. Any questions? Anyway, let me stop. And when you give that call to action, you want to give some type of value. So a lot of people make the mistake of, so a lot of people do these Facebook Lives and they don't have a call to action, or they do a podcast or whatever, and they don't really have a call to action. They're not saying, hey, if you like this, be sure to go get access to XYZ for 100% free. And that kind of gets them to opt in. Now you build your email list. So for example, if let's say you're a trainer, you may say, hey, if you like this video on how to, burn more fat while you're in the gym, you'll probably love our meal plans on how we lost 30 pounds in 30 days with this specific meal plan while still enjoying the foods that we love. Go over here and get access to it for 100% free. Now you've captured their information. Those individuals who engage, a percentage of those will end up becoming clients within the next 72 hours, or some of them may not even become clients for the next year, but still you're building that asset up. So that's the F in the SFM method. It's the funnelized process. Any questions on that?
No. I'm right with you here. I'm loving it. I'm implementation over here. Let's go.
Perfect. So that's the F. And then this last one is the M. This is the monetize. So this is when you actually take people through this process and then you monetize them. Typically, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you a service provider or something like that, typically hopefully you're charging at least $3,000 to $10,000 for what you provide, whether that's coaching, whether that's web design, whatever that is. Hopefully you're charging at least $3,000 or more. And if that's the case, because most people aren't, most of these coaches, consultants, service providers aren't, and that's where we come in and we help them with that. So if you are charging that, typically that sale is going to be done over the phone. So when you monetize, you're going to be doing like a strategy session or an enrollment call where you actually enroll them into your $3,000 to $10,000 or more offer. Or you may have another monetization strategy. Maybe it's getting registered for an event. Maybe it's going to your website to buy, your hair weave or your whatever it is you're selling, right? Or your e-com product or whatever the case may be. I know, weave is popping. I know a lot of other people who are crushing it like in the e-com space. So whatever your monetization strategy is, you would be sending them to make a call to action to buy whatever your thing is. If they just go to a website and buy, or if they go to the phone, then you'll hop on the phone and, make the enrollment process. So that's the SFM method. You specialize, you funnelize, and then monetize.
Oh, you just gave away a whole lot of information right there. So somebody better rewind and write that down, because that is gold right there. I don't know if they really know, but I know.
Absolutely.
So I know probably, right, there's people that are saying, like, they're listening, they're like, oh my God, he's giving me gold right now, but I don't know enough, I don't know enough about something or anything to charge that. Like, who would pay me? They're sitting there still in disbelief, right? Because it's a mindset thing. A lot of people can't even conceptualize charging people X amount of dollars or over X amount of dollars for their knowledge, right? So what would you say to someone like that? Like, I don't know enough to charge that, or like, who would pay me?
Well, the biggest thing is you got to ask yourself, all right, do I have the knowledge and expertise that can help somebody create a transformation in their life or help people solve a big problem in their lives? 9 times out of 10, that answer is yes, no matter what you do. And a lot of times we just overlook our value. So, for example, I have a client of mine. We were speaking a couple weeks ago, and she was on the phone, and she was telling me that she wasn't really sure what she was good at. And she don't think she was good at anything. And while she was telling me all this, she mentioned that she's been married 25 years. So I'm like, okay, pause right there for a second. I was like, you've been married 25 years? She was like, yeah. And I was like, you're still married? She was like, yeah. I was like, do you know how many women would love to get your expertise on not only how to get married, but actually stay married for 25 years? I mean, that's a whole business right there. And then after we agreed that she can go that direction, she then asked me and said, well, what kind of certifications or whatever should I go get? And I was like, well, you've been married 25 years. I was like, anybody can go get a weekend certification or a month-long certification, or they can go to a 4-year college on relationship counseling or marriage counseling. But your 25 years of in the trenches, in experience, right, trumps all of that. Like for me, a lot of times people think you have to have a certifications and all this different type of stuff. Like I have some certifications in terms of marketing and stuff like that, but nobody really ever asked me that type of stuff. I mean, I've been doing this stuff. I have a 9th grade education. I dropped out of high school in 10th grade, so I got a GED. But when we bring on clients, people never ask us, well, does Marquel have any certifications or none of that type of, does he have a degree? No, I literally have a GED because I dropped out in 10th grade. So it's really about, okay, do I have some knowledge and expertise that solves a big problem in the lives of others? And how do I get in front of them? That's the biggest thing. I know a guy who charges, well, I don't know him personally, but I know of him.
Right.
I'm through a colleague. He actually charges $10,000 to teach people how to do a handstand.
What?
Yes, he charges $10,000 to teach people how to do a handstand. He did $1 million in 6 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And we're out here worried about the things that we cannot capitalize on.
Exactly.
That is crazy. 10,000 to do a handstand. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a belief factor right there. That's really just capitalizing on the things that you don't even know that people really need, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So what are a few steps that people can take this month to see a change in their income? And don't give away all your sauce. Just give me a little drip.
So the first thing I would do is I would figure out, okay, what am I charging right now? Is the majority of people who listen, are they typically, what type of businesses? Do you kind of got an idea?
They probably have like beauty businesses, a lot of speakers, entrepreneurs, different things they do in their fields right now, financial experts. It's a lot of different people. Yep.
Perfect. So the first thing I would do, if you have an expert-based business, expertise, knowledge-based business, or service-based business, where you're maybe a coach, you're a consultant, you're a speaker, you're an author, any of that type of stuff. The first thing I would do is whatever you're charging right now, I would double that at minimum. So the number one thing I would double your pricing, and that's like being conservative. I would actually probably tell you to 3x it, but I would say minimum double your pricing. And to be honest with you, if you're charging less than $3,000 for what you provide, 10x your price. If you're charging at least $3,000, double your price minimum. So if you're charging $500 an hour, $500, whatever the case may be, I would 10x it. So now you're charging $5,000. If you're already charging at least $3,000, double your price, right? That's the number one thing I would do. Number two, I would say, all right, what am I committed to being the best in the world at? Because once you say that and you say, okay, this is the thing that I'm best in the world at, then just hone in on that and make sure everything you do is congruent to that. All your messaging is congruent to that. And now you position yourself as the expert in that particular area. Now, how do you build up the expertise in that particular area? Well, two things. Number one, I would create a free giveaway, giving people basically a sample of what it is you do, right? And I'm going to give you an example of that, and then start creating content around that. So, for example, we have a free giveaway training where we teach people how to get more clients, we teach people basically in this free training, how to get 5, 10, 3, 5, 10, or even 30 new clients every single month with consistently and predictability. And so when we do a piece of content, we'll say, or we're running an ad or something, we'll say, go to attractbigticketclients.com, get access to this free training on how to get 5, 10, 20, or even 30 brand new clients every single month with consistently consistency and predictability. So that's a free training that kind of gives them some step-by-step training and also helps them, develop a deeper relationship with me. And then from there, they can make a decision or whether they want to go apply it on their own or if they want to schedule a call to talk about how we can help them apply it. So in all the content that I create is I give some value in the content and then I give them a call to action to go get more, which is this free training. So if I was just to kind of rewind, number one, the pricing model that I just shared. And here's why I say the pricing thing, because the reality is it's easier to make a lot of money in a little bit of time than it is to make a little bit of money in a lot of time. So it's easier to make $30,000 a month than it is to make $30,000 in a year. It's easier to make $30,000 in a week than it is to make $30,000 in a month. It's easier to make $30,000 in a day than it is to make $30,000 in a week. And it's easier to make $30,000 in an hour than it is to make $30,000 in a day. And I'm going to explain why that is right now. So I have a client. She used to be a teacher. She makes about $30,000 a month right now. She used to make $30,000 a year as a teacher. But we started working together. Now she's doing over $30,000 in a month. She used to have to work an entire year to make $30,000. Now, in a month, she makes $30,000. You see what I'm saying?
That's nasty right there.
So that's number one, pricing. Number two, figure out your positioning, how you're going to position yourself as the best, right? That's number two. And then number three, start creating content, create a free giveaway, and start pointing people to that free giveaway, whether that's through content or paid advertising. So that would be the three things I would give them immediately to do this week.
Whew. Whew. Oh, my Lord. I don't know if people know that you just gave away like $10,000 more worth of information.
Absolutely.
And, oh, man. This is gold, Marquel. So to get to wrapping up, right? So what gave you the belief in yourself to go after this that you're doing?
So it really took a lot, to be honest with you, Dana. So like for me, when I came into this whole world, basically fresh off the streets. So I got introduced to network marketing, like hanging out in the club one night, and then saw a presentation. I bought into a hook, line, and sinker, but it wasn't as easy as they said it was going to be. But then that led me into, because they told me like, hey, all you got to do is get to it, and they'll get to it, and they'll get to it, and they'll get to it, and making all this money, right? So I went into it, I bought into it, and then I was doing it the way they taught me, talking to friends and family, talking to people who come within 3 feet of you. And I had like a huge fear of public speaking. I didn't really talk to strangers, because the world I came from, we just kind of moved differently. So that was kind of a challenge for me. But one of the people on my team sent me a link one day to this training with this book, actually. And training was a video series that led to a book that taught how to attract people to me versus going out doing it the old way, doing home and hotel parties and meetings and all that different type of stuff. So the book actually was $40, and it was an ebook. It was a PDF. It was $40. So I read the sales letter tons of times, and I ended up buying it. From there, that was my first purchase online. And it also led to my first commission online. So I was actually able to resell that book as an affiliate and made my first $20 online. So then I kind of went down this rabbit hole. I just started buying stuff and just kind of fully immersed into it. And long story short, fast forward a little bit, I was just all over the place trying to learn everything. One of the guys, I bought a course from him, and it came with a coaching call. And on the coaching call, he just told me to just pick one thing to focus on. At that time, it was blogging. So I used to create a lot of blog content. That's how I started to build a brand, start generating some leads. And I really didn't have the belief when I got started, to be honest with you. I just started. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of did it scared. I used to have thoughts like, all right, who's going to listen to the guy with the goals in his mouth? Who's going to listen to the guy with the tattoos? Who's going to listen to the guy who only has a 9th grade education? Like, I had that type of stuff going on, especially in the industry I was in. It was mainly dominated by white people, right?
Yep.
Nothing against white people. I mean, I got a lot of good friends and clients and so forth for white, but that's just what's the reality.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who's going to take me serious when all these other people are teaching the same exact thing, or they're talking about the same thing? Why would somebody listen to me? So I had all that going on in my head. But also at the same time, I knew I had to make this work. Like it was either this or back in the streets, back to the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't go. I don't have a degree. I didn't have any of that, so I couldn't go back and get a job or none of that type of stuff. I had to make this work. So while I had all that stuff going on, I was like, just let me do it, right? And I used to have a real bad weed habit, so I used to have to smoke a blunt before I did videos. Right, so I used to, if you go back on my YouTube channel and go all the way back to my old videos about 6 years ago, I'm like high on video, and it's easily you can easily tell, right? But that's just kind of where I was, and I was staying in an apartment where I was paying my girlfriend was my wife now. She was paying $400 a month because I couldn't even afford it. But I still had a little bookshelf in the background. I was like, hey, welcome to my beautiful home. I'm here in my library, and it was my library. It was my living room. I had my bookshelf that I got from Family Dollar that I put together myself. It was leaning because that's not really my skill set, but I was just going with it. You know, so I put whatever little money I had. I bought me a little camera. I was just going with it, doing it scared, doing it unsure. Didn't really know if it was going to work. Didn't know if people was going to really take me serious. I just did it because I knew I had to make it work, and I had a big reason why I had to make it work. So I know it was probably a long answer to your question.
Nah, I love it.
But I just did it. And as you do a thing, confidence is, people think that you got to become confident, right, to do something. Actually, confidence comes last. So it's this formula I learned from this guy named Dan, and he calls it the confidence formula. I think this would be a hugely valuable for everybody. But basically it said confidence comes with first making a commitment, right? So you making a commitment that you're going to do a thing. Then once you make a commitment to do the thing, you actually do the thing. I forgot what the second C is right off, but it's you actually do the thing. Then once you do the thing, right, the third part is capability. Then you realize you actually have the capability to do this, right? So whether that's do a video or whether that's run an ad or whether that's start your own podcast, whatever it is, you realize you have the capability. And then once you realize you have the capability, then that's where confidence is built. So confidence comes last, not first. Most people think they have to be confident first, but it doesn't work like that.
I love that. And I love your transparency and all of that because it don't come overnight, right? And sometimes you just gonna have to jump and you're gonna have to do it afraid, and whatever happens, but either way you learn a lesson and you make it happen regardless.
Can I say this real quick?
Nah, go ahead.
All right, cool. So I left out the second, so I had to look it up because I didn't want to leave everybody hanging. So the 4 C's, it's called the 4 C's formula. The first C is commitment. You make a commitment. You say, okay, I'm going to launch this podcast, for example, right? And then the second C is courage, because even when you're scared, like courage is not being afraid. Courage is actually being afraid and then actually doing it anyway. So commitment, you commit to doing this thing. Courage, even though you feel the fear or the uncertainty and the resistance, you still do it. And then once you actually do it and you push through, you realize you had a capability, that you're capable of doing this thing. And then from there, your confidence is built. And then you just create more momentum based on that confidence. Because if you can accomplish this, you start building up confidence in all other areas of your life as well.
Ooh, yes. That's a good breakdown right there. I think that's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. So I hope they grabbed that information. Oh my God, Marquel, this was amazing. You don't know, I got notes on notes on notes over here. So if y'all ain't taking notes, y'all tripping. For real. But I want to thank you so much for devoting some of your time to come and share your knowledge with people. But I can't let you go until you let the people know, what do you have coming up? How can they get in contact with you? Give me that information, please.
So we got a couple things coming up. A lot of really exciting things happening right now. So number one, big shouts out to my guy, David Shans. So David is, we're doing this. I'm actually going on tour with David. So we're going to do like 20 cities over the next 6 months. We're doing this tour called the Real Social Proof Tour. Basically, on the back end of his huge event that he did in April.
Yes.
So we're doing a concept called the Personal Branding Blueprint Live. So we got on the 20th, we're going to be in Birmingham, June 20th. I'm not sure when the show is going live, but the 20th, Birmingham. The 23rd will be in Greensboro, North Carolina, and then we have like 20 other cities. So just plug in, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, follow David as well, and then I will post the flyers and so forth. Or jump on my email list, I send it out as well. But those are the first 2 cities. So we're super excited about the tour. That's number 1. And then number 2, we're just on our mission. Our mission is to create $100 million in new revenue for clients over the next 5 years. So that's $20 million a year. And the way we're doing that is by helping our clients get more clients, because the lifeblood of a business is new customers and clients. If you don't know how to get consistent customers and clients every single day, you're doomed, and you're going to end up in the entrepreneurial graveyard like 80% of entrepreneurs. So if you know how to get clients, you have nothing to worry about. If you don't, you have a lot to worry about. And the way we do that is, of course, breaking down a lot of stuff that we do. And I have a full free training. You can go to attractbigticketclients.com and check that out. And I also got a ton of free training on my blog, marquelrussell.com, marquelrussell.com. And you can check that all out over there. I have a podcast that it'll link up to called Results Over BS. And yeah, that's what I got going. That's what I got coming up. And then that's what we're working on. I think I answered the question.
Yes, you did. You did. And y'all better go grab all this free stuff, but don't forget to make that investment in yourself, because if you want to see a return on that investment, I'm pretty sure Marquel can make that happen.
Absolutely.
Well, yes, thank you so much for coming. Listen, ladies, I know this was a lot to take in today, but guess what? It is a part of the growth process for you. And if we're really trying to unleash our inner badass in all areas of our lives, listen, if your money funny, honey, you got to get that right, because we got to clean it up to make sure that we can live truly our best lives. But as a quote that I got from Jim Rohn, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. So in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to catch y'all next time. That's a girl.
You know it's time.
Recrown.